Good evening, good evening. What's up, everybody? Appreciate you for tuning in. Tonight, we're going to get into the facts, and we're going to hear Dr. Umar finally respond to the allegations of his school being up for auction, or possibly being up for auction, after the alleged freeze of his accounts and the school accounts. We're going to get to it, and we're going to hear it from his own words. For over 10 years, Dr. Umar had a dream of starting a school of his own that educate young black men. It was going to be a Pan-African boarding school. Now that dream might be up for sale by the city of Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah, you heard me right. It might be up for sale. As of August 5th, he had 20 days to respond to the unpaid utility bills and unpaid vacant taxes on the property, adding up to around a little over $72,000. I know you like, what is $72,000 to the Pan-African prince who done raised over $1 million towards this school, this project, this dream to help the black community, the underprivileged youth, as he filed on his non-profit application. Now that dream might be up to sale because he did not pay his bills. He did not handle his business. You know what they say, if you don't handle your business will handle you. Now his business is handling him. So we're going to get to the facts. We're going to hear him tell his story, and we're going to listen to the panhandling prince himself. I mean, my fault, no disrespect. The panhandling king. Explain it to him. And please bear with me because he's very long-winded, because you know this is Dr. Umar. We heard of finesse 2 times, but he's finessed 3 times because he repeats himself 3 times, and he's gonna call to action every type of African he could think of to respond to his quest to keep his dream alive. Now let's get to it, and I appreciate for taking the time out. I'm gonna be in and out, but we gonna get through it together. And while you here, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and I'll be right there. Now let's get to it.
Peace in Pan-Africanism, peace in Pan-Africanism. Peace in Pan-Africanism, peace in Pan-Africanism. Peace in Pan-Africanism, peace in Pan-Africanism. Happy Leo season. Happy Black August. Happy Leo season. Happy Black August. Happy Leo season. Happy Black August. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my continental Africans, my Nigerian Africans, my Ghanaian Africans, my Togolese, Benin Africans, my Liberian, Basutu Africans, Congolese, Angola, Mozambique, my Eritrean, Somalia, Ethiopian, Madagascar, Sudan Africans, my Lesotho, my Zimbabwe, my South Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Caribbean Africans. We're my Jamaican Africans, my Turks and Caicos, my Bahamian, Bermudian, Caribbean Africans, Cuban, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my South American Africans. Brazil, I will see you in November. Brazil, I will see you in November. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Central American Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Canadian Africans. Where my Toronto Africans at? My Montreal Africans, my Nova Scotia Africans. Special announcement. FDMG Academy bank accounts are still frozen. FDMG Academy bank accounts are still frozen. Dr. Umar personal bank account is still frozen. Dr. Umar personal bank account is still frozen. Brothers and sisters, we are fighting this war against FDMG and Dr. Umar Ifatunde.
Who's raising the war? That's what I want to know. Who are you fighting against? Because we ain't fighting against nothing. Who are you fighting against?
We are fighting this war against FDMG and Dr. Umar Ifatunde. We were supposed to get a refund within 4 days of our accounts being shut down. We were supposed to get a refund within 4 days of our accounts being shut down. We still haven't got our refund. We still haven't got our refund. We still haven't got our refund. So, not only are the accounts frozen, make sure y'all hit my Venmo and my PayPal. PayPal.me/Umar the psychologist.
It's a begging dude, bro. Not only is your accounts frozen, you still ain't explained to the people why are your accounts frozen. Why did they cancel? Did they cancel it or they froze it? But why did they cancel it? The fraudulent activity had to be on your part. Because if they shut you down because somebody else tried to get in, it don't make sense. All of us have bank accounts with electronic payments, bro. Everybody gets it. Everything is digital. So why you? What happened that they shut down your account? Please explain that to us. Besides you telling us to go to Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay. You even giving a different PayPal than before. Before it was Umar, the psychiatrist. Now it's the Academy joint. Please explain that to us. We at war with you, the scammer.
PayPal.me/Umar the psychologist or tap my Venmo. Text me for the links to donate to FDMG. Text me for the links to support Dr. Umar. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858.
And that's another thing. Why are we supporting you and you still doing paid speaking engagements? You was just in New Jersey doing a paid speaking engagement. So why do you need the support from us? Why you don't have the people pay you, send it to PayPal or Venmo? Smell a lot of cap. Stop fronting, my dude.
On August the 5th, brothers and sisters, on August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a notice to auction off the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy campus for unpaid vacant property registration fees. I repeat, on August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a lien to auction off the campus we bought, the campus we've been working on for 6.5 years. I was not notified of this. We were not notified of this. This past weekend, without an email, this past weekend, without a letter in the mail, this past weekend, without a phone call, the city of Wilmington put a notice on the door handle of both of our schools, informing me that if we don't pay the past due vacant property registration fees and outstanding utilities by the 25th of Black August, they will sell our campus. Brothers and sisters, can I ask you a question? Why were we not notified that they were going to try to sell our campus? Brothers and sisters, why are they trying to sell our campus at the very moment that our accounts are frozen? Brothers and sisters, is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that the city of Wilmington is trying to sell properties that we own and have been working on continuously behind our backs? They were going to sell our schools behind our backs. They didn't even tell us that they were going to try to sell our schools. We received no notice in the mail. We received no notice by email. We received no phone calls at all that they were going to try to sell our schools. Instead, they put a notice on the door handle. Somebody stole one set of notifications and sent it to the YouTubian struggle streamers. Somebody stole the Frederick Douglass High School paperwork off the front door and sent it to the struggle streamers. But look,
stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying.
I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe that they were going to sell the school, and they wanted to sell the school before we found out. I believe that they wanted to sell the school before we found out. We were not supposed to know that they were going to sell our school. Why do I say that? We were given no notification. We received no letter in the mail. We received no email. We received no phone call that they were going to try to sell our schools. Instead, they put a notice on the door. In a low-income neighborhood, they put a notice on the door with rubber band and masking tape. They put a notice on the school front door with a rubber band and masking tape.
So, right now, let me explain how he's full of it. You don't miss, he said his accounts was frozen right before the first. You don't miss one payment and then 5 days later, they got your property up for auction. You had to miss years of payments. And then I looked it up. I went to their website and I looked up the city ordinance. The first billing cycle for each year is November 1st. And then it's due by the first day of the calendar year, which will be January 1st of the following calendar year. He said that he'd been at the school for 6.5 years. He has not made one payment in 6.5 years for the vacant. On the next video, we're going to break it down and I'm going to pull up the ordinance where we can see it and the people can see exactly what's in writing and how he did not follow any of the rules and think that he's above the rules. But let's hear him keep digging his hole and putting his foot in his mouth.
Brothers and sisters, it gets worse. Back in April, when I found out about the overdue vacant property registry.
Back in April is when he found out. It is August. It's 4 months later. And he's acting like this was something brand new that was sprung up on him a few days ago, like 2 days ago, when he knew 4 months ago. He had 120 days to get his stuff right. So I don't know why he acting like now this is all brand new. But see what I mean? When you tell a lie, you got to keep lying and lying. And now he's telling on himself. Back in April, you heard him out. That's when he knew, since he claimed he found out back in April. But he still had 4 months to get his affairs in order.
Registration fees. I had asked the city of Wilmington if they could retroactively apply our nonprofit waiver. According to the nonprofit waiver for the city of Wilmington, if you are a nonprofit organization, they will waive your vacant property registration fees for 4 years. If you are a nonprofit organization in the city of Wilmington, they will waive your nonprofit vacant property registration fees for 4 years.
That's true. But he's still being deceitful because they will waive it for 4 years. That is put on there. But it also say you cannot get a waiver if you already have outstanding past due fees. You have to be in good standards in order to apply for a waiver. And you have to give them a plan on when you're going to have the repairs and stuff done to make it up to code. So he's telling the partial truth. He's just leaving out the point. Remember, he said they've been working on it for 6.5 years. You still will owe 2 years going into 3 years because you only could get that waiver. Like he said, 4 years. Other properties is 2 years. Only for non-profits can get the 4 years, but you have to be in good standards first. You cannot owe them money and then apply for a waiver and ask for retroactive. There's no such thing as the retroactive. You have to be in good standards and then you can get the waiver. And really, they only want you to do for the 2 years, but for non-profit, they will give you the 4 years with a plan on how that you're gonna get the stuff that's whatever it is that's making it vacant, that is pretty much condemned, that is not habitat. So once you give the plan, they will give you the waiver and you can get extensions on it. But he's telling partial truths. He's not telling the whole truth.
If they would have applied our nonprofit vacant property registration waiver, we would owe absolutely nothing. We would owe absolutely nothing.
That's a lie, because he purchased the property in 2019. It's 2025. The new calendar year, the new bill comes out in November, so you still would owe because you would have been up. It still would have been past the 4 years. And remember, he lost his nonprofit status originally because he didn't file taxes for 3 years. And then he got a new one. He moved out of Philly and then moved the organization to Wilmington instead of filling out the proper paperwork. You know what I mean? So his first year nonprofit, I think, it's really kicked in on his new one in like 2019 when he purchased the school. So like right after that. So he's still being deceitful. So even if he did 4 years from 2019, he still would have to start paying. Let's go. And like I said, the law say he got to be in good standards in the ordinance.
We would owe absolutely nothing. But I asked them, and they ignored my emails for 4 months. They ignored my phone calls for 4 months. They ignored our emails for 4 months. They ignored our phone calls for 4 months. And instead, the first time I hear from them since April, the first time I hear from them since contacting them April, asking them to apply our vacant property registration fee waiver to the past 4 years so we would owe absolutely nothing, they ignored me since April. They ignored me since April.
See, now we got to call him out. Call an ace to ace, a spade to spade. So look at it like this. He just was in Ghana last month, right? If you could go all the way to Ghana, why didn't you take yourself down to the office and let them know I've been emailing, I've been calling, I'm trying to get XYZ in order, you know? It's on the website, right where the email's at, right where the phone number is at. So you could have went down there in person and go down there to the treasurer office or to the city ordinance or whoever they do, however they do it in Delaware. You could have went down there and got your business affairs in order, but you didn't do that. You was being lazy claiming that. And then show us the proof. Show us the proof that you send the email. Show us the proof that you was leaving messages and stuff. You're lying. You're lying.
No phone call, no email, nothing in the postal mail since April. And the first thing we find out, the first time we hear from them since April, is a letter on the front door of the school, affixed with a rubber band and masking tape. A rubber band and masking tape. Brothers and sisters, giving us 20 days to pay these back taxes. We already paid $30,000 for water that we don't even use. We just paid $30,000 to this.
I want to see the receipts, my brother. I want to see the receipts saying that you paid $30,000, because even with that, you still owe $10,000. Even the form that I got up there right now, y'all can pause it and see the docket number. That's for, when I say he had 2 cases, it is 2 different dockets coming out for each building that he had. You know, so it adds up to $40,000. So if you paid $30,000, unless they cut you a deal, you still owe $10,000. And like I said, if you type in on Google the Wilmington, Delaware vacant property waivers, the first thing that's going to come up, AI is going to say that all properties must be registered. Past due vacant fees cannot receive a waiver. So him asking in April for some retroactive waiver, you can't even do that. So that's why I say he's being deceitful on that. You know, so he's full of it on it. Let's listen to him, and at the end of this, towards the end, I will pull it up and we'll go over it, and you will see directly from their websites and from the ordinance that what he is saying you can't even do. And if they send you a letter in April, they send you a lot of that stuff is automated systems. We all got bills. We all know if you miss it, they'll send you the automated, well, maybe not all of us, but some of us. Myself, I'm not too proud to say I done forgot, like I'm in the military, I done forgot to make a payment or something. And they'll call like, hey, you didn't do this, or they'll email you or something. Whatever, as long as your contact's up there, you see, oh, no harm, no foul, you paid them. He thinks everything's supposed to come free. That school ain't done because he wanted free labor. He wanted free everything. Then he tried to guilt trip us into thinking, oh, you black, you supposed to just help me because I changed my name from Jermaine to Dr. Umar Boom Boom, you know? But let him get back to telling his truth, because it's only true to him, not the rest of the world.
City of Wilmington for water that we don't even use. And now we got to pay another $30,000 for vacant property registration fees that we shouldn't even owe because we should have a waiver. We should have a waiver. We should have a waiver. And it gets worse, brothers and sisters. It gets worse because they are raising the vacant property registration fee. They are raising the vacant property registration fee this fall from $5,000 a year to $12,000 a year. I'm going to say it again. They are raising the vacant property registration fee this fall from $5,000 a year to $12,000 a year. Brothers and sisters, I want y'all to get ready for a protest. I want all FDMG donors and supporters to get ready for a protest. We may have to march on City Hall, brothers and sisters. We may have to march on City Hall because of the racism. I'm going to call it what it is, racism. Discriminatory treatment. Why did we get no notification that y'all were going to sell our schools? Why did you not respond to any of our emails to retroactively?
What is racist about you not paying your bills and you not following up on your business? What is racist about that? You didn't pay the bills. By you not paying it, they are following the process. It's a regular process. Same thing like you or me or anybody else. If we don't pay our bills, if I don't pay my light bill, they're going to cut the lights out. If I don't pay the property taxes on my house or my mortgage, they're gonna take it. They're gonna auction. They're gonna go into foreclosure. Like everything he did with this school, the business part of it wasn't taken care of because it had to lean on it for the water and sewage from before he bought the school. If he'd have went through a lawyer, they would have looked for liens and stuff before closing. They would have looked for liens. He should have got an inspection. That way he would have knew exactly what's wrong with the school, and then he could have got a rehab loan, but he don't want a loan because if he had a loan, especially as a nonprofit, he got to explain the money going in and the money going out. But he ain't even have to go to loan fund since he's getting these donations. But he could at least have an inspector come through, let the inspector look over the building, and the inspector could say, this is what's wrong with it. This is not. You probably could have negotiated a better price for the building. But then you know a starting point on what needs to be done. And then you could have added up everything that needs to be done and see if the reward outweighs the risk. But he didn't do none of that because that takes logic and common sense. Which, the more he speaks, the more we see that's not what he has. So it went from 2,000 to 5,000 for properties that are vacant for at least 3 years, but less than 5 years. Well, that's why it's going up, because it said 10,000 for properties that are vacant for at least 4 years, but less than 5 years, right? So every year, so as you can see, and this is in 2023, this ordinance came out. So he told another lie. He said that it's going up this year like if it was something new. Or he said it like if it was something new, but it's going up because of how long that the property been vacant. You know what I'm saying? And remember, the time had reset from when he purchased the school. So the only reason it went from it's gonna go where he's at is really 10,000 now, but he ain't been paying. He was saying 5,000. That's if it was 3 years or less, but he said he had it for 6.5 years. So technically, the BS that he's telling us is already at the 12,000, because as you can see, it says that it goes from 12,000 because it was 5,000 way back when they changed it. This is from 2023. The ordinance has changed. So 2 years ago, and it went from 5,000 to 12,000. So he's talking out of date stuff though. So he kind of read up on it. We could give him the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, he's not telling the whole story. This is what Umar is talking about, and then what they say under Section 6, one time 4-year waiver of registration fees for non-profit organizations and extensions upon application by the owner and satisfaction of subsection 5B above. The commissioner of the DLI may grant a one-time 4-year waiver of registration fee or extension of a waiver for up to 12 months. So that's really 5 years you can get if you need that much, because you could put it in and then ask for extension one time, from what I understand. Bill, he ain't fixed the school, guys, so he's responsible. Then it says, A, past due registration fees may not be waived. Past due registration fees may not be waived. And that's under the nonprofit. So that's under the nonprofit telling you that past due registration fees cannot be waived. So if he would have handled his business ahead of time, then he could have got the waiver that he's asking for 4 years. But he didn't handle his business, obviously.
Apply our vacant property registration fee waiver. I knew they didn't want Dr. Umar in Wilmington. I didn't know it was this bad. I knew that the power structure, I'm not talking about the brothers and sisters in the community. They love us. Shout out to our Wilmington, Delaware family. Shout out to our Wilmington, Delaware family. They love Dr. Umar and FDMG. I'm talking about the power structure of Wilmington, Delaware. We knew they didn't want us in that city, but we didn't know they would go this far as to ignore us for 4 months and try to sell the school behind our backs. I didn't know they would go this far as to ignore us for 4 months and try to sell the school behind our backs. I didn't know they would go this far to ignore us for 4 months and try to sell our schools that we've been working on for 6.5 years behind our backs. So brothers and sisters, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fight like hell to get our money from the bank. We're going to pay off this vacant property registration fee waiver. And we might still have a protest at City Hall because this is wrong, brothers and sisters. I have emailed the mayor. I have gotten no response. I have emailed the chief of staff. I have gotten no response. I have emailed the city council president. I have gotten no response. So brothers and sisters, I'm going to meet with my team and we're going to decide if we're going to go ahead and have this protest. And it ain't going to be one. We're going to do multiple protests. And we're going to invite our donors and supporters from across the state of Delaware, our donors and supporters across the United States, and our donors and supporters across the entire planet. We may have to march on Delaware to let them know that you don't treat black people like this. Because if I was white, I wouldn't have been treated like this. If we were Asian, we wouldn't have been treated like this. If we were Arab, we wouldn't have been treated like this. If we were Jewish, we wouldn't have been treated like this. But we were treated like this because we were black. How dare you ignore us for 4 months and then put a sign on our door without even telling us that you're going to sell our properties? Brothers and sisters, why didn't we receive a certified letter? Why didn't we receive a certified letter? Why didn't we receive an email? Why didn't we receive a phone call? Oh, we not going to quit. We not going to give in. The only thing left on the elementary school is to lay down a tile. We're going to lay down this tile, and we're going to apply for our certificate of occupancy. We're going to lay down this tile, and we're going to apply for our certificate of occupancy. We're going to lay down this tile, and we're going to apply for our certificate of occupancy. And if we have trouble getting our inspection and certificate of occupancy, we will have to march. We will have to march. We might march anyway, brothers and sisters. We're not giving up. We're not giving up, brothers and sisters. We're not giving up. We need y'all to call the mayor of Wilmington, Delaware. We need y'all to call the mayor's chief of staff in Wilmington, Delaware. We need y'all to call the city council president of Wilmington.
Nobody better not call those people and complain. What they need to do is call Umar and tell them, get them people their money, Umar. Pay your bills, Umar. Be responsible, Umar. Be responsible, Umar.
Wilmington, Delaware. We need y'all to call the Commissioner of License and Inspections of Wilmington, Delaware. We need y'all to call the Vacant Property Office of Wilmington, Delaware and demand.
He want us to call somewhere that he wouldn't call, that he wouldn't take his fat ass down there and see what's going on himself. Or have somebody on this team that nobody sees, you know? That's what he should have did. He should have went to all these places if he was serious about this.
Demand that those unjust fees be removed from our account. Let them know that you are a donor of FDMG. Let them know you are a supporter of FDMG. And let them know that if this situation is not rectified, we will march on the city and we will sue the city of Wilmington, Delaware. We will sue the city of Wilmington, Delaware.
I'm a black man and I'm gonna say something controversial. As a black man, I don't see the point of marching any of these places. Like, I have not noticed anything positive from marching. Now, economically, if you want change, I could see you doing where you don't spend your dollars in certain spots. But this dude is nothing to be protesting over, bro. Because you just did not pay your bills, bro. That's what it all landed down. You did not pay no bills at all.
Delaware for racism and discriminatory treatment. If you need to reach me, 215-989-9858, text message only. 215-989-9858, text message only. 215-989-9858, text message.
I got the website pulled up right now, and like it say, all properties must be registered to receive a waiver. Past due vacant fees cannot receive a waiver. If you meet the conditions for a waiver, the commissioner may don't mean will or shall, may. They have the option to grant you a waiver for the registration fees for the current year. It's a one-time waiver. It literally tells you on their website that you cannot waive past due waiver. We pulled up the ordinance. He did not handle his business. If he would have handled his business, he wouldn't be going through this. But he didn't handle his business, and now he want everybody else to handle his business. The most requested scholar. And if you can see, they have the contact information. You know, the contact information is right here. You could call 311 if you in the city, or you could call the 302 number. It has the hours of operation. It also has the location where he could have walked down there, drove down there, scootered, skateboard. He could have took himself down there and made sure the business was taken care of. But he didn't for the last 6.5 years. He could have went down there, but he didn't. But now he want to call to arms everybody else to go do the job that he didn't do while he was around here chasing the wrong things.
If you don't pay our money, we're not going to email you. We're not going to send you a letter in the mail. We're not going to call you. We're going to put a letter on your door that somebody can take and run off with, as somebody did. They took the letter off the high school and sent it to YouTube, the struggle streamers. What if they took the letter off the elementary school? What if they took the letter off the elementary school? What if they took the letter off the elementary school? Brothers and sisters, We need your donation so we can pay
They
this
told you 4 months ago to pay
They
them
say
their
we
money.
owe $20,000 on the elementary school. They say we owe $20,000 on the high school. They say we owe approximately $20,000 on the elementary school. They say we owe approximately $20,000 on the high school. Our accounts are frozen. Our accounts are frozen. Our accounts are frozen. We need y'all to help us pay this bill. We're going to fight like hell to get our accounts freed up. We're going to fight like hell to get our accounts freed up. But if we don't, y'all got to help us pay this bill and save our school. Y'all got to help us pay this bill and save our school. Y'all got to help us pay this bill and save our school. You don't have to root for me, brother. I don't need you. I got more than enough supporters. But I want everybody to know that there might be a protest soon. We need you to come in from Africa, from Europe, from Australia, from Canada, to come in from all the 50 states and show the city of Wilmington, Delaware. You will not disrespect black people. You will not sabotage black people. You will not discriminate against black people. And you will not try to steal property from black people. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifatunde, standing strong, Leo season. We will not quit. We will not abdicate. We will not equivocate. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Garveyism to get back. Pan-Africanism to perish. See you in Nat Turner land. See you in New Orleans. See you in Hattiesburg. See you in Mobile, Alabama. This is your brother, King Kong Consciousness. I love you too. Peace and Pan-Africanism.
You heard, he gave a mouthful, a bunch of Storiega shit. You know what I mean? He tells these stories. He called every African he could think of. Like, he's desperate right now. And the jig's up. The jig is up. We are at the point of knowing that he's full of it and he's lying. The jig is up. So it is what it is. Respectfully, we decline to keep putting up with the BS. Until next time, it's been long enough. Peace.